What's good, y'all? I'm here today to give y'all a brand new review for a new show that I just now decided to put on the repertoire, and she is called Family or Fiance. They are still in season one. Make sure to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Be sure to hit that bell, become the notification gang, and any videos that has ads on them. Please make sure you watch it. Help me help y'all. Family or Fiance, this episode came on this past Saturday, and we got introduced to LaShonda, yeah, I believe that's her name, LaShonda and Dre. Right off the bat, I really like LaShonda and Dre, baby. LaShonda is bad at all that in a bag of chips as she wants to be. She knows it. She is snatched to the gods, honey. Loved the little short bob dude that she was rocking. Loved all of her outfits, her skin, makeup, adequate, everything. Like, Miss Girl is all that, and she knows that. And she looks really good to have had two daughters. One is 8.5, and one is 9, I believe, from a previous relationship that she was in. Then we get introduced to Mr. Dre. Dre is a celebrity DJ. He's DJ'd for Chris Brown and Snoop Dogg, just to name a few. He doesn't have any kids of his own, but he definitely does take care of her two daughters. And he also, when they get married, he definitely wants to adopt them. Definitely big ups to Dre for that. It's hard to find men who even have the time to take care of their own kids, and to know that this man loves this woman and her kids so much that when he does marry their mom, he basically wants to adopt them. I don't find anything wrong with that. And child, hold on to your husband, girl, because Dre is fine. Okay, y'all can say whatever y'all want about him and his big teethuses, but girl, he is fine. Definitely fine. So anybody who have watched Family or Fiance, we all know that they first get introduced to Tracy McMullen. Tracy is a therapist. She's basically is there to be the listening ear for both of the couples for their weekend stay to that luxurious house. Absolutely fabulous, somewhere up in the hills, surrounded by cactus and I absolutely loved it. Also on the show, both of the groom as well as the bride can bring 3 people that is closest to them who knows a little bit about the situation. I pretty much dug everybody that they bought other than Brandon, and Brandon is Dre's tied, delayed, and through best friend. I don't like that bitch, and we're going to get into reasons why in just a second. Actually, we go get into that now. So the family arrives down to the house. I believe her family gets there first. I want to say, I could be wrong, but I believe her family comes first, and she brought both of her sisters and her dad. And then his family comes. He brought his mom, his brother. I mean, not his brother, his mom, his sister, I want to say she is, if not his sister, her cousin, and that tied ass best friend, Brandon. So they give each of the family members their chance to express why they don't feel like they need to get married. Basically, her family's whole issue is, the adoption. They feel as though he doesn't need to be adopting this man's kids without this man's consent. Other than that, they didn't really have a huge, like, this is what he's done, and this is what he's done, and this is what he's done, like most of the families was. His side of the family, the sister was like, oh, I'm just concerned that you don't want to hurt my brother. And girl, I'm not going to lie, even though she was cute and I dug her, she annoyed the hell out of me. Like, that was her old issue. Don't hurt her brother. And my whole thing to you, mama, is this. He's the one that's surrounded by beautiful women day after day, night after night, while she's at home with 2 kids. So I'm not understanding how you're getting she's gonna hurt this man so bad. Like, I don't get that vibe from her. And that just only makes me feel that you had nothing to say. So why not just say, I don't want my brother to be hurt? That's the proverbial thing that everybody loves to say when they don't have nothing to say. His mom's issue was also with the adoption. She feels like she definitely loves the two daughters, loves the two kids, but her whole issue basically echoed her dad and her sister's sentiments, which is, I don't really know how I feel about you adopting another man's kids, especially if this man is out the loop and have no idea that that's what's going on, because that's going to cause problems between between their dad and him, and because he's about to marry this woman, that's going to cause problems in the household. And for everybody who feels like it doesn't, use a damn lie, it most definitely will. Brandon, let me tell you something, because I don't even want to get into what your issue was, because in my opinion, you had none. You was reaching and you was fishing for any little reason that you could find to stop this man from marrying this woman, basically so you could continue to live this pseudo lifestyle that he's basically living. You want him to be single and free with you so that you and him could go off and live and do y'all little fuck boy fantasies, because I could look at you and tell that you don't get no play from any kind of woman, and you just so dead set on this man not marrying. I'm gonna tell y'all something, and Brandon, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I feel about you. I think you are the most fakest, the most phony, the most ignorant, the most negative, the most tired, the most delayed, the most like anything that you can think of to say negative about a person in the dictionary. Put his sad ass picture right up there where the meaning is supposed to be, because he gave no good reason, valid reason, or explanation. The only thing he could come up with is her temper. But girl, I would have a problem with you too if you sitting around here having conversations about my daughter to my supposed to be soon to be husband, and he not open his mouth and check your ass on it. Case in point, her issue with Brandon is, other than the fact of he basically just don't want him to get married so he can continue to live out his fantasies through him. Because like I said, women can smell insecurities in a weak-ass man from a mile away, and that's just what he gives me, and it bled through the entire episode. But the one thing that really got her, and she said, you know what? He toxic and I don't want him around. He basically had a conversation with this man alluding to the fact that one of her daughters were ugly. Okay? Now, he's saying, oh, that wasn't the way that conversation was. That wasn't what I meant. What I said was, both of the girls, they don't look alike. One is more darker than the other. And don't get me wrong, she has a banging personality though. Brandon, the sky's blue. Okay, and you not about to convince me otherwise. We all know how that shit works. We all do it. We all get approached by somebody that we are just not attracted to. But you don't want to be mean because they're a good person and they have a good personality. All we say is, listen, you cool. I don't really feel you like that, but you have a banger personality and I would just love to be your friend. You all but called this woman's daughter ugly. Why would you do that? And Dre, I can understand why she had the issues that she has with you, because you're more willing and more concerned with trying to save a friendship of 20 years than you are having this woman's back. And my whole thing is, Dre, you can't sit here and tell me that you want to fully in your heart be responsible for these daughters enough to want to adopt them when you can't even take up for them, when you have this grown rusty ass man calling one of them ugly. I understand why LaShonda feels the way that she feels about Brandon. I understand. And that wasn't the only time throughout this entire 3-day course that you did not take up for this woman and have her back. When they went down to eat, both of the families sat down to eat together. The daughter is basically downloading her dad on why she has the problems that she has with Brandon. And instead of the dad sticking up for not only his daughter, but for his granddaughters, he basically all but took this man's side, talk about something, well, I don't feel like I needed to run down on this man over words or an opinion that might not be. Daddy. And see, this is why I can't go too hard on the dad because for one thing, he's an old school fool and he's set in his ways. He lives by the mantra that you can't go off of women's emotion because naturally women are emotional creatures as is. If you sit around here constantly, getting so heavily invested into a woman's issues, it's gonna make you soft or whatever, or however the hell it was that I don't know. Girl, he living on a whole Fred Flintstone type of thing where the man is the master and the woman does what she told and basically forget her feelings. That's basically all in a nutshell of what the daddy felt about that conversation. And of course, the daughter is upset. She storms out. She gets mad. She storms out. The sister is coming up trying to talk to her. But I understood exactly where LaShonda was coming from. It's like, it's bad enough that I have to deal with my husband not having my back when it comes to this sawed off beanhead ass dude. But now I have to sit here and deal with the same thing from my dad. These are his granddaughters. Forget me being his daughter. These are his granddaughters. If nothing else, stand up for your granddaughters. I understood how she felt. So then the next day, Dre goes to talk to Brandon. And once again, Dre, this is another time where you allow this little sawed-off ass boy blankly disrespects your soon-to-be wife in your face and you don't say anything. He's basically like, oh, she blew up. I don't like the way she talked to her daddy. I hold parents in a certain accountability and blah, 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 blah. And Dre, what you should have said was, well, bro, how can you sit here and feel a type of way about the way she talked to her dad when you basically do the same thing to me? Like how you sitting here now basically downgrading my soon-to-be wife to my face. You're the last person that needs to be giving any sermons or preaching about respect and how to respect somebody and how to love somebody. Like Dre. And then you got mad and upset when she kept calling you out on that. Don't get me wrong. I was really proud of the way that you helped stand up for her when she was basically trying to get her Neanderthal dad to understand that we're no longer living in the 1950s and I'm not your wife. I'm your daughter. Yes, you've raised us like dudes to be tough and not wear our emotions on our sleeves. I get that. But now I'm an adult. You're no longer raising us. Now I just need you to be my dad. Yes, I hear the tough love. I get all of that. But where's the love when all I see and hear is toughness? And the dad just refused to sit down and listen to what this woman had to say. So I'm glad that you stood up and you took up for your soon-to-be wife in that moment. But I need you to do the same thing and hold that same energy to your best friend. Okay? Because in my opinion, this best friend really ain't your best friend. Because we're best friends will never be in the space or never would disrespect your wife or somebody that you love, period. That's just like me and my best friends. Yes, I've dated dudes. One thing that they have never done was disrespect my dude to my face or otherwise. And vice versa. I've never done that to them or their families. I've never will create a space to where either one of them could think that that they're going to be so comfortable with just disrespecting somebody that I love. That's the only thing that LaShonda wants from you, Dre. And I really hope you give that to her because she most definitely deserves it. I'm telling you, that best friend is going to be the death of your marriage if you keep him around anytime sooner. Basically, y'all, coming down to the end of it, everybody basically gave their blessings to get married except for Brandon, of course. Now, his whole thing was the only reason why I feel the way that I feel about you is because I see a lot of me in myself. And while I get that and I hear you, that doesn't make me like you anymore, Brandon. It doesn't. It doesn't. Because if you're the same way that she is, then you obviously know what you're doing is getting under her skin and you're doing it on purpose. Because it's like I said, you want to continue to live out your fantasies through this damn man because you don't have enough play of your own to get women on your own. That's all that this is, y'all. Do not be fooled because I see it time and time again. Dre starts crying and basically saying that, you know, this may be the end of our friendship if he constantly disrespects my wife. And she did not want him to be a part of the wedding. But when this man started breaking down crying in front of her, she said, listen, forget my feelings as usual. If you don't want to do this and you want to have him there, then it's okay. And I completely loved LaShonda for that. I do. I love her for that because that shows maturity, that shows growth, and that shows that she genuinely loves this man and she wants him to be happy by any means necessary. Yes, it's always considered the bride's wedding, but the fact that she was willing to put her feelings on the back burner just to make this man happy says a lot about her and her character. I'm really glad to see that they did get married. The best friend was there to stand beside his friend, but it definitely let it be known that he definitely put down some ground rules and some guidelines and boundaries about how he talks and how he talks about his new wife. Y'all, that's really all I got. I ain't really got no more to give you. The episode was actually pretty decent. Like I said, I really enjoyed seeing LaShonda and her fine ass man husband. Trey, good luck on y'all marriage. I really hope the best for y'all. And yeah, Trey, go on ahead and pop some babies in her oven, okay? Go on ahead and have some children of your own. Maybe if you have some children of your own, you would not have to adopt these other two children because, in my opinion, that daddy, whether he was there or not, is going to have some real issues with that. And I don't want that man running down y'all house trying to get to you, thinking y'all trying to kick him up out his kid's life. But y'all, that's all I got. I ain't got no more to give you. Y'all drop down in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the review. Let me know if y'all even watched the show. Depending on how many likes I get, how many views I get, and how many comments I get will determine whether or not family or fiance stays on the repertoire. And until next time, girl, I'm going to holler at you later. Bye.
I just woke up and I rolled up. I just woke up and I rolled up. That be my starter kit. I just woke up